For centuries, sage has lived a quiet life, dusty and dignified, residing in your grandmother's spice rack, waiting to be called upon once a year to liven up Thanksgiving stuffing. But in recent years, the humble herb has been dusting off its cobwebs and stepping into the neuroscience spotlight. Scientists, nutritionists, and herbalists are now asking, could sage be doing more than just enhancing flavor? Could it actually enhance your brain? The answer, increasingly, appears to be yes. And not just in a vague, it's good for you kind of way, but in a biochemically fascinating, neuron-loving, memory-sharpening kind of way. To start, sage, particularly Salvia officinalis and its relatives like Salvia levandulifolia, is loaded with compounds that your neurons apparently adore. We're talking about flavonoids, phenolic acids, and essential oils like cineol and thujone that sound like they belong in a chemistry lab, not a spice jar. These bioactives have been shown to reduce oxidative stress in the brain, which is essentially the neurological equivalent of keeping your mental hard drive from overheating. They also reduce inflammation, which has become the new villain in nearly every chronic disease from arthritis to Alzheimer's. Now, before you go ordering a sage-scented candle and expecting an IQ boost, it's important to point out that the real magic seems to come from extracts and controlled doses, not just sniffing the Thanksgiving turkey. In randomized controlled trials, sage extract has been shown to improve memory and attention span in both younger adults and aging individuals. One study found that even a single dose of sage oil could significantly improve word recall. Yes, you read that right. An herb best known for stuffing can help you remember actual stuffing. Poetic, isn't it? What makes sage even more intriguing is that it seems to operate on multiple fronts. Not only does it fight off oxidative and inflammatory damage, but it may also inhibit an enzyme called acetylcholinesterase. That's the same enzyme targeted by some Alzheimer's drugs because it breaks down acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter crucial for memory and learning. Sage says, no, thank you, to that breakdown, allowing acetylcholine to hang out in your brain just a little longer, like a party guest who sticks around to help you clean up and reminds you where you put your keys. But here's where it gets wild. Beyond protecting neurons, sage might actually help grow new ones. Neurogenesis, the generation of new neurons, was once thought to be impossible in adult brains, a belief we now know is about as accurate as the idea that you only use 10% of your brain, which, by the way, is a myth. Unless you're watching reality TV marathons, then all bets are off. Some animal studies have hinted that sage extract could promote neural stem cell proliferation and differentiation in brain regions like the hippocampus, which is kind of like the brain's librarian for memory. That's huge. If future research confirms this in humans, it would place sage in the elite club of natural compounds, like curcumin from turmeric or resveratrol from red wine, that aren't just neuroprotective but potentially neurogenerative. It's one thing to defend your mental turf, but it's another to start building new towers and laying fresh neural tracks. Let's also take a moment to appreciate the vibe here. In a world where pharmaceutical interventions often come with long warning labels and even longer lists of side effects, the idea that something so natural and so aromatic could offer brain benefits feels oddly reassuring. No one's saying sage will replace medicine, but imagine a future where your daily routine includes brushing your teeth, drinking coffee, and maybe downing a small sage capsule that helps keep your brain sharp enough to win trivia night well into your 80s. Of course, we're not saying you should abandon science and go full medieval apothecary. But the resurgence of interest in sage is part of a broader trend where ancient herbs are getting a second look through the microscope of modern science. We've spent decades synthesizing lab-made compounds while ignoring the leafy legends growing quietly in our backyards, and now they're having a renaissance. It's like the botanical version of a washed-up 90s band suddenly topping the charts again, except this time the comeback could actually help delay dementia. So yes, sage may do more than season stuffing. It might season your synapses, garnish your gray matter, and roast a few rogue free radicals while it's at it. Whether you're 25 and trying to ace finals or 75 and trying to remember where you left your glasses, hint, they're on your head, sage might just deserve a place not only in your pantry but also in your wellness toolkit. Just don't overdo it. Too much thujone can cause side effects, and let's be honest, no one wants to be the person who overdosed on herbs at the health food store. In conclusion, the next time someone tells you herbs are just for hippies and holiday cooking, kindly remind them that sage is now flirting with brain regeneration. And that's way cooler than gravy.